GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. I'm Lauren Dupuis. Today we're highlighting a non-profit delivering cooling kits in park extension as the heat wave pushes ERs past capacity and a thunderstorm warning with a rare yellow sun on the horizon. Traffic is light, aside from some construction delays. Over to you, Ryan.
Chloe Minas came on as substitute and scored the winning penalty in the 77th minute, securing Montreal's narrow home victory.
The match, part of the Northern Super League, ended with Montreal edging their rivals by a single goal at home.
The decisive penalty gave Montreal a one-goal margin, final score 2-1, confirming their third consecutive win this season.
All right, let's get into it and see what else is happening across Montreal this morning. Good morning, Montreal. Residents of Park Extension are receiving Blue Freshness kits today as a local non-profit works to keep vulnerable households safe during the current heat spell. Each kit contains a compact fan, a spray bottle, a thermometer, and a pamphlet on heat-related health safety. Volunteers set up tables along Rue Jean Talbot and distribute the kits to anyone who asks, focusing on seniors and families without air conditioning. The organization says the supplies aim to lower body temperature and encourage regular monitoring as temperatures climb above normal. City health officials have warned that prolonged high heat increases the risk of dehydration and heat exhaustion, especially for those living in small apartments. The distribution will continue throughout the day, with additional stations planned for tomorrow in nearby Little Italy. Community leaders hope the effort will reduce emergency visits as the heat wave persists.
6 complimentary comedy performances are lighting up the city as part of the Just for Laughs festival. Audiences can catch acts by Weird Al Yankovic and Adib Al-Khalidi alongside other surprise lineups, all at no charge. The free shows are scattered across venues from the historic Old Port to the Plateau, giving residents and visitors alike easy access to laughter. Organizers say the series runs through July 26, offering a daily dose of humor during the festival's peak week. Tickets are not required. Simply show up at the designated locations and enjoy the surprise sets. The initiative aims to bring the spirit of the festival to neighborhood streets, encouraging spontaneous crowds to gather and share a laugh. With 6 shows on the schedule, the city's comedy scene stays vibrant and inclusive throughout the summer.
Family members have taken up residence in a trailer parked beside the duplex they recently bought, after a dispute over the property's possession erupted. The couple and their 2 children moved into the makeshift shelter, while the former tenants filed a formal challenge to the owner's repossession request with the Quebec Housing Tribunal. The tribunal hearing is currently underway, with both sides presenting evidence on the legality of the eviction and the tenants' right to remain. City officials declined to comment, but the case underscores the complexities of Montreal's rental market, where ownership transfers can trigger legal battles. The family says they intend to stay in the trailer until a ruling is issued, while the tenants maintain they have not been given proper notice to vacate. Local housing advocates are monitoring the dispute, warning that prolonged delays could leave more families in precarious conditions.
Emergency rooms across the city are running at more than double their normal capacity as a relentless heat wave and staffing shortfalls strain the health system. Officials from the Provincial Health Authority said today that ERs are operating at 200% capacity, forcing doctors to triage non-critical cases and extend wait times. The surge follows record high temperatures that have left seniors and anyone with breathing problems especially vulnerable. Hospitals are urging older adults and anyone with respiratory conditions to stay in cool environments, hydrate frequently, and seek care only for emergencies. Administrators warn that the combination of extreme heat and a shortage of nurses and physicians could keep pressure on emergency departments for several more days. The situation remains ongoing, with health officials monitoring the strain around the clock.
A thunderstorm warning is set to be issued later today across Quebec, and meteorologists are flagging a tornado risk as the sun takes on an unusually yellow hue. The atypical summer conditions have prompted the Provincial Weather Agency to advise residents to stay alert for severe storms that could develop after sundown. Authorities warn that the combination of heightened humidity, strong upper-level winds, and the strange solar coloration points to a heightened likelihood of rotating storms. People are urged to secure loose objects, avoid travel on exposed roads, and keep emergency radios tuned for updates. Schools and outdoor events in affected regions may be postponed or canceled pending further guidance. The warning will remain in effect until the system moves eastward and conditions normalize, officials said. Local emergency services stand by to respond to any incidents that may arise. Up next, a Montreal man won $5 million and is eyeing his home, plus local news after the break. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into today's headlines. Then Ryan Mercer will bring you the local stories you need to start your day.
Pierre Draws, a local resident in Montreal, was confirmed as the winner of a $5 million lottery prize early this morning. The unexpected windfall will allow him to move beyond renting and put a down payment on his first home, something he's been saving for over many years. Draws said the money will give him the flexibility to choose a neighborhood that suits his family's needs, rather than compromising on location or size. Real estate agents say a $5 million budget opens doors to a wide range of properties, from renovated townhouses to spacious detached homes. The announcement, made just before sunrise, sparked a quick buzz on social media, with local cafes sharing the story over coffee. While the exact address remains private, the win illustrates how a single ticket can change a household's financial picture. Neighbors expressed congratulations, noting that the news adds a bright note to the community's everyday conversations.
Storms sweeping across southern Quebec today have turned out milder than the strong thunderstorms forecasters warned about. Light rain and gusty winds are still moving through the region, but power companies report only a handful of customers without electricity. The limited outages are being addressed as crews work to restore service, and officials say no major damage has been recorded so far. Residents who had prepared for severe weather say the calmer conditions are a relief, though they are keeping an eye on the lingering breezes that could still knock down trees. Meteorologists note the system will continue to drift eastward through the evening, bringing occasional showers, but no further significant impacts. Authorities will monitor the situation and update the public if conditions change. Restoration teams are prioritizing hospitals, schools, and water treatment sites to ensure essential services remain uninterrupted.
Yesterday, California legislators sent a formal letter to Quebec Premier Christine Freichet, urging her to lift the ban on American wines and spirits. The appeal follows a broader trade disagreement between Canada and the United States that has kept U.S. alcohol off Quebec store shelves for months. Lawmakers argued that reinstating these products would give consumers more choice and could ease tension in the cross-border market. The letter highlighted the impact on local retailers who have seen a dip in sales of premium imports and on diners hoping to feature American vintages on their menus. While the province has not yet responded, the move adds pressure on officials to reconsider the restrictions amid ongoing negotiations. Residents may soon see a wider selection of wines and spirits if the Premier acts on the request.
Yesterday, the Quebec government announced an extra $24 million for the forest sector and rolled out an updated wood innovation program. The funding aims to strengthen research and development across the province's timber industry, from sustainable harvesting techniques to new wood-based products. Officials said the money will help create jobs and support small-scale producers who supply materials for everything from construction to home heating. The modernized program also introduces faster grant processes and stronger links with universities, hoping to turn forest resources into more affordable, locally sourced building supplies. By bolstering innovation, the province hopes residents will see more environmentally friendly options in stores and on building sites in the months ahead. Consumers may notice new wood composites for furniture and packaging, while forest-dependent towns could see a modest lift in municipal revenues.
The federal government announced yesterday that a new military drone research center will be built in Mirabel. The facility, slated to open in the coming years, will focus on developing unmanned aerial systems for the armed forces. Officials said the center aims to boost Canada's defense capabilities and keep pace with evolving technology. Ottawa highlighted that the project will bring high-tech jobs to the region and strengthen local expertise in aerospace engineering. The development is also expected to attract related suppliers, potentially spurring further investment in the surrounding area. Funding details were not released, but the announcement signals a clear commitment to expanding the nation's drone fleet. Construction is expected to begin later this year, with the site chosen for its proximity to existing aerospace infrastructure. Residents can anticipate increased activity at the Mirabel Airport as testing and development move forward.
Now let's get a quick look at your morning forecast, right here on the local sunrise. A deepening low over the St. Lawrence meets a fast jet stream, setting today's warm, breezy pattern. On this date, Montreal once burned to a record high of 33.1 degrees Celsius in 2013, a peak that rode the tail of a continent-wide heat wave. The cold counterpart fell to 12.9 degrees Celsius in 2015, when an Arctic blast slipped south through the Great Lakes. By contrast, the July climate normal hovers around 29 degrees for the high and 21 for the low. Those benchmarks show today's expected 31-degree peak is well above average, but not unprecedented. The live radar shows a completely clear swath across southern Quebec, with no echoes from the St. Lawrence Basin to the Laurentians. A dry, stable air mass sits under the rising low pressure near the city and a building high pressure to the east. The jet stream races westward at 209 kilometers per hour, but it carries only dry air. With no moisture, precipitation will stay absent through the day as we turn to the outlook. At 7 this morning, Montreal sits at 21 degrees, partly cloudy, with humidity at 80% and a west wind blowing 20 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 32. Low pressure over the city is rising, while a high-pressure ridge is pushing east, sealing in warm air. The jet stream overhead speeds at 209 kilometers per hour from the west, steering dry air aloft and preventing any rain. Temperatures will climb steadily, reaching a high of 31 degrees by mid-afternoon. The UV index is 6, and the wind will peak at 37 kilometers per hour from the west, feeling brisk. No weather alerts are in force. With the atmosphere stabilizing, we now look ahead to the 5-day trend. Wednesday brings a clear sky and a high of 28 degrees with a low near 17, as the high-pressure ridge remains dominant. Thursday stays mostly bright, but a modest 35% chance of rain appears as a weak disturbance nudges the southern edge of the ridge, with temperatures near 24 and a low of 15. Friday returns to mainly clear conditions, high 26, low 16, as the ridge strengthens again. Saturday shifts dramatically. An approaching low from the Great Lakes brings a high of 21, a low of 17, and an 85% rain probability, keeping the day damp. Sunday eases back to clear skies, high 24, low 15, and a 25% chance of showers lingering into the evening. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Later, we break down traffic delays, preview Just for Laughs and Cirque du Soleil, and recap the Roses' win. We will be right back. Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
The biggest hit this morning is the closure of Autoroute 40 between the Côte de Lys interchange and Autoroute 15. All traffic is being rerouted onto Autoroute 15 southbound and onto Boulevard St. Laurent eastbound. Expect extra travel time of at least 15 minutes if you're heading toward the West Island. On Descaries Boulevard, ongoing construction is slowing traffic to a crawl near the Descaries Côte St. Lucian intersection. Drivers report short queues and occasional lane shifts, so allow an extra 5 minutes. Aside from those spots, the rest of the network is moving smoothly. Major arteries like the Descaries Expressway, the Ville-Marie Tunnel, and the eastbound stretch of Autoroute 25 are clear. Looking ahead to this afternoon, we anticipate a quiet commute with no further roadwork slated to open. Transit services remain on schedule, with the metro and bus lines operating normally. Keep your radio tuned for any updates and have a safe drive.
Just for Laughs is lighting up the city, with stand-up, galas, and international comedians spilling across the Quartier des Spectacles and other venues. It's the perfect excuse to step out of the morning rush and soak up some laughter. Next, the Old Port welcomes Cirque du Soleil's Echo, a contemporary big top that fuses poetry, acrobatics, and cutting-edge technology, a visual feast you won't want to miss. The show runs nightly, so you can catch it after work. For music lovers, the Festival International Nuit d'Afrique is buzzing in the Quartier des Spectacles, offering free outdoor stages and indoor concerts that celebrate the rhythm of the continent. The vibe is electric, ideal for a spontaneous evening out. And looking ahead, tomorrow the Fantasia International Film Festival kicks off at Concordia, promising a marathon of genre-bending movies for anyone craving thrills on the big screen. Tickets are on sale now, so plan ahead. Those are the highlights shaping Montreal today. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Local soccer riding high, and a Canadiens era comes to a close. The Montreal Roses earned a tight 1-0 victory over the visiting Halifax Tides in Northern Super League action Sunday. Substitute Chloe Minas was the hero, stepping up to convert a penalty in the 77th minute to deliver all 3 points for the home side, according to CBC Sports Soccer. The Roses also made waves off the pitch, announcing the signings of Marie-Yasmine Aladou and Yves Perisset. CBC Sports Soccer describes both players as high-profile additions carrying strong international pedigree, a significant boost to Montreal's Northern Super League roster. A long chapter in Montreal Canadiens history is closed. The Habs traded longtime forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations. The deal was reported by CBC Sports NHL, ending Gallagher's run with the only NHL franchise he had ever called home.
Essence, the high-end fashion retailer on St. Laurent, has announced a sweeping change to its creative team. The company is letting go of its full-time photography, retouching and hair and makeup staff, shifting much of that work to artificial intelligence tools. The move is billed as a way to modernize content production, speed up launches, and cut costs amid ongoing financial pressure. For the St. Laurent corridor, where boutique windows and street-level creativity have long drawn shoppers, the shift feels like a turning of the page. Still, Essence remains a flagship of Montreal's style scene, proving that the city can reinvent itself while keeping a pulse on cutting-edge culture. Local designers say the decision raises questions about the future of hands-on artistry, but many also admire Essence's willingness to experiment. And now a heartwarming look at a local nonprofit handing out cooling kits in Park Extension, keeping our community cool this summer.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On the sun-kissed hill of Côte Saint-Luc, the Jewish General Hospital stands as a familiar landmark for families heading to appointments and for the volunteers who greet each visitor with a smile. This morning, Dr. Miriam Cohen, Chief Medical Officer, and a handful of faculty from McGill gathered in the historic lobby, their voices humming with quiet excitement as the ceremony unfolded. A ribbon of fresh spring roses, laid across the marble desk, caught the light and seemed to echo the new chapter being written. The University Hospital designation, formally announced by the Provincial Health Ministry, transforms the hospital into a beacon for research, teaching, and specialized care across Quebec. In the pediatric wing, a young patient waved a handmade card that reads, "Thank you for teaching the future," a reminder that every bedside becomes a classroom. As staff members exchanged handshakes and shared stories of breakthroughs that began here, the sense of collective purpose felt tangible, like the first warm breath of a Montreal summer. We're grateful for the care and learning that shape our city's health.
On a bright Saturday morning in the heart of La Vieille des Rapides, the scent of fresh croissants drifted from a small bakery onto the cobblestones of Rue St. Laurent, where Caroline de Geyer paused to greet neighbors gathering for the weekly farmers' market. The former Parti Québécois economist, known for her quiet dedication to community projects, has announced she will run as the Liberal Party candidate in the riding. As she chatted with a group of senior volunteers planting tomatoes in the community garden, a young girl slipped a hand-stitched flag reading "Together" into her palm, a simple token that sparked a ripple of smiles. The moment captured the spirit of a neighborhood eager to bridge past divides with a shared vision for the future. De Geyer's shift from separatist roots to a federalist platform feels less a political pivot than a personal promise to listen, to learn, and to work hand in hand with the people who have always called this place home. It's a reminder that in our neighborhoods, new chapters often begin with a shared belief in a common future.
Thanks for joining us, Montreal. From the excitement of a local lottery winner dreaming of his first home to the community spirit in Park Extension, we've seen a lot today. Stay safe, and tune in tomorrow for more stories that matter to our city right here on the local Sunrise.